morning and welcome to the Data War Room Asia live from the Cybersecurity Summit. I have with me a very special guest, Mr. Vic Mankotia, Vice President APJ for Zimperium. Welcome, good morning.
Thank you, Resham. How are you today?
I'm good. So Vic, this show is about the voice of information security professionals from Asia. You've been in Asia very long time.
Yes.
Let's introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Vic Mankotia. I began my journey into Asia Pacific and Japan from Singapore about 29 years ago, selling only security software and selling it only to the markets which are rich in our backyard. I've been with Symantec. I spent a good 11 years, 8 years at Computer Associates. Then software needs to be relevant, and with relevant software comes the technologies which are incubated and specifically required for what our customers need. I'm currently with Zimperium, which is a leader in mobile threat defense.
Great. So how much has information security changed in this last 28 years?
My friend, when I began this game, I was in the business of securing desktops, networks, the perimeter, the DMZs, which don't exist anymore. And I was selling security before the antiviruses were invented. Today, we are outside the DMZ, the perimeter is everywhere, and identity, access, the very fact that people are doing the entire modern day commerce and business, the modern workplace is a mobile device outside the DMZ. Now, there's so much data created and shared and consumed on infrastructures which are mobile that security is becoming a boardroom conversation.
Right. And with the rising number of mobile phone users in Asia, I think probably more than any other continent, what do you think, mobile is the new endpoint, what do you think as far as you meet CIOs, CISOs in Asia on a daily basis? How has their viewpoint changed from the last 10 years towards security? Is now security a new paradigm? Is security a focus? And what is their thought process and how different has it been?
Very good question. Let me tell you, you began with a good note. The largest market being China, India, and then Indonesia. For mobile smartphone connectivity. Most of these countries, especially the last two, have done a technology leapfrog from having what I call simple phones or landlines, propelled into an economy which is run on applications. When I'm talking to CISOs primarily, and then CIOs, the biggest headache they have today is, where is my information? Who's got it? And where is the next piece of information which may be compromised, or the wrong people getting the wrong information in the wrong hands, versus the right people getting the right information on the right device. And that is what I think you and I both are trying to make sure, that we stay confident in this connected world.
So, this show is about bringing the viewpoint from Asia out. And you've seen in the past, a lot of frameworks and education and stuff coming in from the West. And now we see a lot of viewpoints, a lot of opinions coming out from Asia. And probably, as we've discussed before, when you talk about the latest number of unicorns and apps and new technology, new companies coming out from Asia, how has the view changed? How has the expertise changed? And where do you think we're going in the next 5 years?
Next 3 years will be better, but I have done a course in oracles and futuristic predictions, but never mind. Good question. We always relied on technologies coming out of the valley. Silicon Valley was leading.
Yes.
Then came Cambridge. You are seeing a rise of technologies in our backyard. A lot from countries and economies in Asia, in Singapore, in Israel, and you can understand, we are living in 27 economies, which all have different needs, but there are 4.2 billion people in our backyard.
Right.
So if you're talking about people using security, they're consuming it, they're using it, and the US or the Western or the European mindset has to pay attention to these users who are the future of the growth for these companies located and based outside Asia. I think Asia, I begin with Singapore, I talk about Japan, I do round off ANZ,
Right.
but I'm looking at the next Asian tigers coming out of the Indonesia, the Malaysia, and the economies around us. Of course, Singapore leading the charge with shipping, logistics, banking is known, and we are going to create the markets and the technologies from here.
Yeah. So we're looking at Asia becoming not only the consumer, but also the starting point
The hub.
of knowledge and security as well.
You will never get to a point where you create a Silicon Valley here, but you have a mixture of what I call the banking ecosystem,
Right.
the shipping ecosystem, and technology.
Right.
You know, a bit like what you had London in the early 1800s
Right.
or early 1900s.
So basically becoming a hub for everything.
we are the hub and the center.
Yeah.
And I'm not going for Idzukari on you, but I'm
No,
saying
no worries.
there is a rise of the rest.
Sure.
It is no longer a Western dominant consumer or innovative minefield.
So going forward in the next 3 years, as you mentioned,
Yes, sir.
how different do you expect the InfoSec world to be beyond solutions in terms of professionals and knowledge sharing?
So there are a few things happening. There is 5G,
Yes.
there is mobility,
Yes.
there is a whole lot of business which is going digital or digital transformation.
Right.
I think everybody is in the software business,
Right.
and every software business is security. As I see the future, I think people are getting used to SaaS consumption. SaaS could be your own virtual private cloud or a government cloud, but everything will be on SaaS.
Yeah.
There'll be hybrids, there'll be a shift from hybrids. The mobile workplace will enable people to do not just the banking, the entertainment, the connectivity, the communication, but you'll see a lot of creation, a lot of marketing, a lot of business fundamentals, which were retail stores,
Right.
which were contactless now. You'll see people generate more revenue on applications which are being invented and disrupting the market, disrupting the banking, disrupting telecommunications, and disrupting even retail.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you raise a good point, right? Because mobile, more data, more apps, more security. And what do you think about the consumer and the average person? How do they view? Do you see a change in mindset in security?
Absolutely, absolutely. The consumer is still trying to get connected
Yeah.
and connected faster.
Yes.
And security becomes, do I need it? And everyone says, I got nothing to hide. The moment they say that, I ask for their PIN number.
Do you get it?
It's not about it's not about people having to hide something. It is about people being what I call vigilant
Right.
and aware of the information they share
Right.
and consume and create. The consumers via telcos, via banks, via various thought leadership forums like these
Yeah.
are getting more and more aware of how they need to protect,
Right.
preserve their information. Again, I go back to have more confidence in our connected world because we're getting more and more connected. As you get connected, the good things come, Resham,
Right.
but so do the bad things.
Understood. Rick Mankotia, it's always a pleasure having you on the
Sir.
show. Good to see you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very
Enjoy
much.
the rest of the show, and we'll speak soon again.
We will talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Resham.
Cheers.